What is up, people, and welcome back to my Rags to Riches F1 2010 to 2014 career mode. This is the career mode where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2010, work our way through the ranks and through the teams, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2014. We're currently in the 2012 season, 4 races left to go of season 3. So if you have missed any of the previous rounds, go catch up with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. You'll find a playlist up there which will have every single episode so far for the Rags to Riches, the sequel. But with 4 races left to go this season, we are currently in P4 in the championship, 6 points behind Jenson Button, on the same amount of points as Sebastian Vettel, and not too far ahead of Mark Webber as well. P4, if you didn't already know, is a Force India seat for next season, so we'll be looking to hold on to this and maybe even catch up to Lewis Hamilton, who's 24 points ahead of us for that Lotus seat in F1 2013 as well. But we just have to wait and see on that one. Emails for today's race, I've already opened them because I did do an introduction, but for some reason my Elgato didn't want to record the first part and the practice of this episode, so we'll go through it again. Race hold status fine. The teammate battle between me and Kamui Kobayashi is pretty much won. He can't catch me up on championship points. I've outraced him. The only one he can come back on podiums if he gets a podium at every single race this season. And the information for New Delhi, it's going to be dry during qualifying and raining during the race. So we're not too sure. We're a little bit upset that it's raining in the race because I don't tend to do well in the heavy rain conditions. We'll wait and see. But it is going to be qualifying in P10 and trying to get P7 in the race, which fingers crossed we can do. But without any further ado, let's head over to the qualifying session for the Indian Grand Prix. It's that time again. It's one-shot qualifying here at the Indian Grand Prix. We seem pretty comfortable in this car at the moment, so I'm reckoning it should be quite easy to get into Q3 here today, but we're just waiting to see what the pace is of all the other drives. We go down in towards turn 1, nice and tight so far, and let's just get on with this lap. Okay, through the final couple of corners now, we're pretty good compared to John O'Byrne's time, so this should be into Q2. But let's wait and see through the final corner. DRS open, down towards the line, and yeah, we go, smashing it, absolutely smashing John O'Byrne's time and getting pole position, provisional pole position for Q1. So a good lap there from myself, beating Mark Webber, beating Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. It's quite tight though up top. I mean, just look how close it is amongst the top drivers. They're separated down to all the way down to P15 is separated by a second, with Nico Hulkenberg not even being too far off, and neither is John O'Byrne, 1.2 seconds off the pace. So it's very, very close amongst the field at the moment. But we are into Q2. John O'Byrne, the only guy going out with the back markers. So let's see if we can get out of Q2 and into Q3. Here we go then. One-shot qualifying time at the Indian Grand Prix for Q2. We just have to beat Felipe Massa's time, which I reckon we do have a good chance of doing. Breaking down in towards this hairpin now, running it very, very wide. That is not a good line through there. That is awful. That's going to lose us a lot of time. So it's going to be tight. It's probably going to be very, very tight now between me and Felipe Massa. But we're just going to have to wait and see what the end result is. Right, how are we doing on the Q2 time? We're currently up by 0.2 of a second. Running it very much on the grass there. Not a good line through that corner, but we can keep it clean. Let's keep it clean through the final couple of corners, and we should be able to beat, which is our teammate now, Kamui Kobayashi in P10. So let's wait and see through the final corner. Let's flick it through this left, touch the curb on the left-hand side, open the DRS down towards the line. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. We had that. We had that under control. We were fastest through Sector 1, faster in Sector 2. And we just lost it in Sector 3. Kamui Kobayashi getting through in that P10, beating us in the qualifying session. And the gap between 10th and 16th is only 0.2 of a second. That's just how close it is right now. So close in the qualifying session. I'm disappointed. I'm seriously disappointed. I deserve to get higher up in that session. I did not deserve to be down in P16. Not at all. Not at all. One silly mistake of cutting the grass through the left-hander, and that's cost me so much time. I should have got into Q3, sorry, and I should be up there. But we always do better in the races than we do in qualifying. And if it's anything like the Korean Grand Prix, we could have a fantastic start and make our way up through the field. However, it is raining, so it could be very difficult in the race. We're just going to have to wait and see. But going out in today's session was Felipe Massa, Nico Rosberg, Bruno Senna, Daniel Ricciardo, Paul di Resta, myself, and Nico Hulkenberg. Not a good day in the office today, but will it be a better one in the race? Let's find out as we head over to the race for the Indian Grand Prix. It's race day at a very rainy Buddha International Circuit for the Indian Grand Prix, and the team want me to finish 10th or above in today's race. However, we are starting way down the field in P16, and it's going to be full wet conditions. 100% chance of rain, of course, as it is raining outside. Just the wets are going to take us all the way to the end of the race. We are going to go on we're going to go on aggressive, so we can just put it in lean or just put it in standard, because we're not really going to be pushing too hard in the wet conditions, because we don't really need to. Don't really need to look at that in the teammate battle either. Starting in P16, I'm hoping though that the rain does ease off. However, we haven't had that this season, where it's gone from either a dry to a wet race, or a wet race to a dry race. So hopefully today will be the first time that happens. However, nothing else to talk about, so let's head down to the track and get today's race underway. Pole position went to Mark Webber for today's race. No, it's actually, sorry, Sebastian Vettel. Is it Sebastian Vettel? No, I'm pretty sure it was Mark Webber that got pole, and it just shows Sebastian Vettel because he is my rival. However, it doesn't show where any of those drivers are in their position, so I have no clue where Sebastian Vettel or Kamui Kobayashi start. But the light's coming on now. It is 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go for the Indian Grand Prix. A great start there from Paul di Resta as we go down in towards turn 1. I cannot see a thing right now down in towards turn 1. Just going to ease up the inside of these guys into the back of Michael Schumacher, but getting the job done. No, I haven't. I've run it a little bit too much power there. So now I've only gone up in towards P12. However, we can get a lot of positions down in towards this hairpin. Just take a nice line, clip the apex there. Don't lose the back end because of traction. And there we go. Up into P8 and just behind my teammate of Kamui Kobayashi. I think there were a few drivers getting caught up with each other behind myself, but I'm not really going to get involved too much in that. Just going to, for now, battle with my teammate of Kamui Kobayashi. Look out for the braking zone, the 150-meter board. Go up the inside down towards this corner, side by side with Kamui, and it should be pretty much job done. Yes, no, yes, there we go. Kamui Kobayashi, we've taken the position. We're up into P7. Let's go hunt down the rest of the drivers then. Aquaplaning. I got caught on a curb and it just literally launched the back end. I feel like this is going to be a running theme throughout the whole race, because it's been a running theme throughout every single wet session that we have had on this game. We're quick in the corners, we're quick, unless we make a silly mistake and we just drift it wide. So we just need to be aware of that. We're looking to go up the inside though of Kamui Kobayashi here, maybe. Up the inside of my teammates, side by side with Kamui Kobayashi, and there we go, just easing our way through and up into P7 once again. Right, this time no mistakes. I do actually believe I am faster out on track than these guys, because I caught up to Kamui Kobayashi through the corners. It was just a couple of mistakes on that lap, so hopefully we can iron those out and have a decent race. Right, I feel like I'm gaining on the guys ahead of me ever so slightly every single lap. I look closer at the moment out on track, and the lap times are of course coming down against the front runners, so it should only be a matter of time before I go for the overtake on Romain Grosjean. Fingers crossed that happens within the next couple of laps. Oh, Grosjean's had a spin ahead of me. Grosjean's lost it. He's absolutely lost it through those corners. They are quite tricky corners. We have struggled already in this race, if you remember back to lap 1. So they are tricky corners, but Grosjean has lost. Unfortunately, that's meant I had to lift off quite a bit, and I have lost out a bit to Jenson Button. It's not Lewis Hamilton, it's Jenson Button in P5, but we're up into P6. We are closing in now on that McLaren and Red Bull driver. Oh, the McLaren of Hamilton's run wide. It's not even Button. Hamilton now making a mistake in the wet weather. The McLaren driver, not too sure what he's done. He's just run it a little bit too wide down in towards the final corner. And unfortunately for him, that means he's down in P6. Luckily, though, he is ahead of Kamui Kobayashi, but he's down in P6. Not a good race so far for Lewis Hamilton, but with other drivers making a mistake, he could come back into it. Okay, then, 10 laps in to this race, and Lewis Hamilton is right on my tail. He'll be looking to go for an overtake as soon as he possibly can. We've not had the best last couple of laps. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm losing grip on the tyres, but I'm not 100% sure. However, Button is in rich mix at the moment, so maybe he can go for a move on Sebastian Vettel. I mean, fingers crossed that's what happens, because if those two can battle away with each other, then that may allow me to get the position on Sebastian Vettel. That's the only chance I've got of beating Vettel in this race. Oh, something has happened to Lewis Hamilton behind us. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Where is he? He's behind us there. Let's have a look. He just goes in towards this left hand, and I think maybe he has a problem because he's just slowing down. So it must, yes, it must be an engine failure or fault for Lewis Hamilton's car, unfortunately, because he is out of today's race, pulling off to the side of the road. It does mean that we've got less pressure on our tail, because it means Kamui Kobayashi is up to 6th now, and he's the next driver, and he is way off the pace at the moment. So don't have to worry about the driver behind me at the moment. Just need to put on the pressure to the guys ahead of me, but it's not a good job at the moment, because look at that lap time, 1:40.5. Fernando Alonso is a 1:39.3. And there we go. We need to be lapping in the high minute 39 bracket to catch Jenson Button and Sebastian Vettel. However, Button is on rich revs, so he is going to be batting away with Sebastian Vettel. So fingers crossed, those guys can come back to me. Okay, I think we're all going to be starting to catch up to some back markers now. This could really help us out, especially down in towards Sector 2. It's very tight and twisty through this area, and the guys, it's going to be difficult for them to let each other through. So fingers crossed, something falls for us. There we go. So there we go. They're starting to get through now. Come on. Come on. Just don't let them all through down the straight, otherwise that's going to be a bit of an anti-climax to this race. Oh, there we go. They're letting him through on that corner. That's going to slow them down quite a bit. Come on. Come on. This is my chance. This is my chance. I've definitely gained a couple of seconds from that. Yes, someone's lost the front wing as well. Please. Please say that's Jenson Button or Sebastian Vettel. At least Vettel. Please say it's Vettel. Come on. Come on. Final lap here at the Indian Grand Prix. The gap is 5.1 seconds. We have gained a whole second on Jenson Button because of that. We've got a HRT just ahead of us. They should get out of our way very easy indeed. They're trying to get past into the hairpin now. That's not really going to be too difficult because you are coming up to a straight, so they should let you through quite easily through there. But here we are behind Narain Carter-Kayan. He's just going to pull over to the side. Thank you very much, buddy. I'm going to get past you. And now I'm going to try and catch up to the guys ahead of me. Jenson Button, I think that is, getting past the lap driver. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm not too sure whereabouts those guys are. I think I can just about see them in the distance, as it's Vitaly Petrov who is up next. So I'm just got my fingers crossed at the moment. Even though I'm on a pad, theoretically, I've got my fingers crossed. I've set the fastest lap, fastest sector 1 of the lap so far. So here we go. What can we do in this race? If anything, as I completely cut across that corner, that's not very good. And as you can see from my dirt tracks, I've done that a couple of times. Oh, okay, no. Petrov, I wanted you to hold up the others, not me. What are you doing, fella? Right, I don't think it's going to happen then. I do not think that the back markers have done a good enough job to hold up the leaders. So it looks like P5 is going to be the best that I can do in today's race. There they are going through the final couple of corners now. 5.7 seconds was the gap. Fernando Alonso, though, wins the Indian Grand Prix. A great result there for the Ferrari man. In towards the final corner for a fantastic P5. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Get the car turned around. Come on. We've got Kamui Kobayashi way off the pace at the moment. Okay, it is going to be enough. Okay. Oh, my God. My heart was racing then. That was close. We could have easily thrown that away. If we, lost a wheel or something like that, that could have been over. That could have been completely over. We could have maybe lost 6th place or lost 5th place, sorry. Dropped down into 6th, maybe even further, because Kobayashi had a bit of a train behind him. But there we go. P5. Job done. And we've only lost out 5 points. No, that's more than 5 points. We've lost out, 5 points. 5 points to Sebastian Vettel and 8 points to Mark Webber. So Mark Webber has jumped us in the championship. So has Sebastian Vettel. But the gap isn't too far. It's only 5 points to Vettel. And it's probably about the same to Mark Webber at the moment. And Jenson Button, unfortunately, gaining 2 points on us here today. But he's still quite close. So he could still have a chance. But Fernando Alonso is today's race winner with Mark Webber in 2nd. Sebastian Vettel 3rd. And Jenson Button in 4th. Myself 5th. Kamui Kobayashi in 6th. Good day for the Sauber drivers here, with Michael Schumacher in 7th, Nico Rosberg 8th, Roman Grosjean 9th, Bruno Senna in 10th, and Daniel Ricciardo just missing out on the points here today. Any surprise results apart from Kimi Raikkonen and Felipe Massa both being 1 lap down in 19th and 20th place. Not good from them. So is Paul di Resta as well. And Lewis Hamilton, there he is with his DNF after having an engine problem here today. So disappointing there for Lewis Hamilton. Drivers' Championship then. And Alonso leads the way. I think he's pretty much won it with 2 races left to go. No, 3 races, sorry, left to go. There is still a chance for Lewis Hamilton to come back, but it is very, very slim. Very, very slim chance for Lewis Hamilton to come back. We're not too far, actually, off of Lewis Hamilton after that DNF here today. We are now only 14 points. Yes, 14 points away from P2. We could have a chance. We could have a chance to drive for Lotus next season. That could be absolutely incredible. But first, we need to get past Mark Webber, Sebastian Vettel, and Jenson Button. And we need to have a good final 3 races in this season. We'll wait and see how it all goes, but fingers crossed we can get that P2, because it's very close between the lot of us, with Mark Webber only 1 point ahead, Vettel only 5 points ahead, and Jenson Button only 7 points ahead of us. But let's look at the Constructors' Championship. McLaren lead the way, but Red Bull have closed up the gap. Ferrari also closing up the gap, but that's pretty much a Fernando Alonso team, as Massa isn't really doing much for them. Lotus still ahead of us. I don't think we're going to be able to catch up to the Lotus team, but still P5 for Sauber will be an absolutely amazing result. But that's it for today's Indian Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed the race, don't forget to smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula 1 content. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. And I will see you next time at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.